Hello viewer, welcome back to 54A. I'm just doing a bit of practice this morning, found a chunk of wood. Not sure what it is. It could be maple, cherry, pear. Good chance it could be pear. Anyway, I was just having a bit of a practice and I thought I might actually turn it into something. So I've already started on it, but I've got this little thing here, top for a potpourri lid, potpourri box, and just found it in my drawer. Must have bought it some time ago, so I'd forgotten all about it. So I thought, well, why don't I make a potpourri bowl and stick this little thing on the top? So that's what I'm going to have a go at. So I've already started it. I'll swing the camera around and show you what I've done so far, which isn't a lot. Let me see. There we go. I've just put a mortise in and a bit of a foot on it. I've just started sanding the base now. Put a little shape on there. It's still got to be rounded off a little bit, so I haven't done too much to it. But I'm just getting on with the sanding now. I think I'm going to leave that bit of bark on if I can. A little bit of extra. So I'm just getting on with the sanding down here, and then I'll get back to you when I'm started rounding it off a bit. So I'll see you in a minute. I'll just say while I'm sanding this, if you just started out in wood turning, you do get a tendency to sort of rush it so you can see your finished product for the first time. Don't rush your sanding. It doesn't matter if you use what I'm using at the moment, which is the Abranet sheets, sandpaper, discs, whatever. Don't miss a grit out. Always go up through the grits. I know it's boring, but for every grit you use, the next one is very slightly finer. Now if you miss one out, that next one is going to have trouble smoothing the scratches you already left from the last one. And that's what sanding's doing in actual fact. It's just putting very small scratches on as it takes the wood off. Now, and another thing, always keep it moving, because if you just stick in one place, you will end up with grooves in the wood, which is even harder to sand out. So just make sure you keep it moving, just gently. You haven't got to put any pressure on, just guide it along wherever you're going to sand. Now I've just sanded that base up to 600 grit and it's lovely and smooth. It's smooth enough now. Take as much time as you can on the bottom of your work as well as the top, because you can guarantee the first thing people are going to do when they pick something up, they're going to turn it over and have a look at the bottom. I don't know why, it's just natural nature habit, isn't it? You know, everybody does it. So make sure you got a nice finish on the base. So that's sanded up to 600 grit, that's nice and smooth. Now I'm going to carry on and just round this off a bit. What I'm trying to do here is get this shape on the top as well and just leave a waistband round it. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. This hasn't even been evened up on this side yet. Might be better for me to actually turn it round now and get it in that way round in the chuck. So I think I'll do that before I carry on. Well, that was a stroke of luck. I didn't even have to change my jaws over, so I must have made that mortise just the right size, which is unusual for me. I usually have to use another set of jaws, but there you go, just one chuck at the moment. There will be another one coming very soon. Right, I'll get on with that and get rid of that for a start off. Here we go. I've trued it all up now. There's some cracking cracks appearing. I did do the cracks I could see on this block ages ago with some super glue, but they do appear to be going right through. Don't know how bad it's going to get. Pretty bad by the looks of it, but I'm going to carry on. It's good practice. See how far I get with it. I'm going to try and get the same shape as here onto the front, or top as it will be now. Just adjust the tool rest. Keep your tool rest nice and close as you can to the wood, and always just give it a quick spin by hand to make sure nothing's going to catch, and then start shaping as you want. Now go very gently. Again, there's no hurry. This wood's not going to go anywhere, I hope, and you've got all the time in the world, so take your time. Very gentle cut. You'll be surprised how quick the wood comes away. I'm slowly getting the shape that I want now. Just want to make this nice and even now. There's still wax on this very outer coating, very outer edge, so I'm going to just skim that off now. And for that I'm just going to use my round nose scraper. That's better. Just got to go in a bit more now with whatever tool I decide to use. I might just carry on with the scraper for a bit while it's in my hand, and try and get this the same shape as what I've got on the bottom. Now, whichever tool you're using, try and do it in one easy swoop. The more you stop, the more ridges you're going to get on it. Sometimes it can't be helped, but if you can just get used to doing it in one nice motion, you'll get a much better finish. Right, I'm going to carry on a bit with this now, do a bit more to this edge, and then start mark off where I've got where that lid's going to go, and start hollowing it out. So I'll see you later. Okay, it hasn't fell apart yet. I've just got to skim a bit more off this, but I've just marked out roughly where this little pewter lid's going to be. So I'm just going to take a bit out, 1/4 inch or so I know where to work to. on this pewter, whatever it is, there's 3 little feet, if the camera will catch it. 3 little tiny feet, so that's as big as you want your opening to be, and that luckily is too small at the moment, so I'd rather have it a bit too small, then at least the lid won't be sloppy. I can adjust that at a later date, so I won't go any bigger than that for the moment. I'll just get this all nicely smoothed off and then start hollowing, he said. Nearly there, a little bit more to go. I don't know if you've noticed, might be difficult for the camera to pick up. I've scalloped each one in the centre as well now, so that it's like a continuing pattern. So see you later. Right, I've made a ridge, or about 1/8 of an inch deep, I think. Finally managed to get it, so hopefully this just about fits in, which it does. So there's no play there. You want it easy enough to take out again, but you don't want to jam it in that tight that it's going to be difficult to take out. So now I'm just going to start hollowing out now, without going further than this edge. Again, nice gentle strokes. A lot of people will dig a lot of this out with a force and a bit. I have got a force and a bit, but it'll probably set the place on fire, it's that blunt. So I'm just going to carry on digging out with the gouge, which will take a while, so I'll see you later. Right, I'll just move the camera down to show you how it's coming on. All I've used so far, started off with the bowl gouge just to give a bit of a shape, and this round scraper, the carbide tipped. Use anything you feel comfortable with. There you go, I'm sure you get the idea now. I'm already starting to undercut, and that's just with a straight tool. So I'm going to carry on with that now. I have marked a pencil line, which is going to be the outside of this effort here. So it'll just sit just inside the edge of the wood, hopefully. But that's a job for later. So I'm going to carry on hollowing out now, and I'll see you in a bit. There's a number of tools you can use for hollowing out, especially when you've got a sort of undercut. Hollowing out's no problem, just use your ordinary scraper or bowl gouge. But when you're trying to get under a lip, you really need something else. You can get into a certain extent with your ordinary gouges, but one of the most handy tools I've got, it's a Sorby. It's called a multi-tip hollowing tool. Now, this is just one of the tips that's on the thing, if you can see that. You can angle it at any angle, and it's very handy for getting right in under the rim. It also comes with that blade, but to save changing things over all the time, I just made another tool. Let's just zoom out a bit. I made another tool completely, so I've got the one blade on this tool and one blade on this tool. It just saves having to get the Allen keys out and change the blades over all the time. So I do use this quite a lot. Another one I've got, which I bought recently, is the crown hollowing tool. This is another adjustable tip. You can adjust it, loosen it there, so you get more or less any angle. This will also go right in under. It does tend to be a bit vicious, so you have to be careful with it. You have to take it in and tilt it down at about 45-degree angle, but that works nicely. But my favourite one is this little tool there, which I'm going to carry on with for a bit now. Very gently. It's surprising how much wood comes out with this little tool. There's no hurry. I'm just doing very gentle strokes. If you start hurrying and you add a bit more pressure, it'll dig in and catch. But I'm just going backwards and forwards very gently, and it's going in quite nicely. I'm already near enough in the length of the blade, so I'm doing quite well here. And I'll carry on with this for a bit. This crack here does seem to have opened up a bit, so I've put some more CA on it. I'm not too worried about it. I just don't want it to get any worse. Anyway, I'm going to carry on hollowing out with this tool, and see you later. Right, I've just cleaned up this outside edge a bit with a scraper, just to crisp up the actual defining points on these scallops. It looks a lot better now. I'm just going to take this down now so this lid just fits inside where the pencil mark is. I should do that with a parting tool, I think. Now this is a similar process to when you're making a box, and just keep trying it. I know I haven't gone quite big enough yet. But best to take too little off than too much at once. So I'll just take a little skim off, and I think I'll go over to my square tipped scraper. Make sure I get a nice clean square edge. It's also a good thing to remember, when you're taking a cut off, you're taking twice as much as what it looks there, because you're taking it off that side and effectively that side. So tiny little bits at a time. Keep checking. So it's just like doing a lid for a box. Still a little way to go, but not much. Nearly there now. Just a gnat to go, as they say, and probably just take it a little bit deeper after that. That's just about going to fit. Yep, it just wants to go a little bit deeper. be there. Yep, but otherwise that's fine. So I'll just finish that off and tidy that up. So I'll see you in a minute. Well, that fits nicely now, and it stays there on its own, so it can't be that bad. You can get it out okay, but it just squeezes in nicely into the recess there. So all we're going to do now is sand it all down. Sanding sealant, a couple of coats, and then give it a polish. You've all seen this happen before loads of times, and I have explained the sanding process. Take your time with it. Doesn't matter which, if you're using Abranet or these micro mesh pads, which I sometimes use. Don't miss a grit out, that's the main thing. Don't press too hard, otherwise you'll leave grooves. Keep it moving, and you can't go wrong really. It's just taking your time. The finishing, the sanding can make a piece or ruin a piece. I usually ruin a piece, but still I do try. So I'm going to get on with the sanding now, and I'll get back to you hopefully with a better looking product. I just thought I'd add a little bit more about the sanding before I finish it off. I went through the Abranet up to 600, and I'm now using this micro mesh, I think it's called. Yeah. This goes from, let me see, 1500 right up to 12,000. Now these are really good as well. It's another good product on the market. You can see the shine coming already on this, and this is just sanding. There's no polish or anything on that at all. However, with these, they are like a rubberized, and you've got to keep it moving, otherwise you will end up with a melted rubbery black line round your work, which you've then got to go back through the sanding grits to get rid of it and start all over again, or even you might even have to turn it off with a scraper. So they're very good, but keep them on the move quite fast. I'll just show you. I fold it into three, just touch it on and keep it moving quite quickly. Like that. It's especially important when you're sanding near the edge of something, because that edge will melt this rubberized coating and you end up with a black edge, and it's not very nice looking, and it takes some getting off as well. So I'll carry on, and like I said, I shall see you later. Right, so I've put 2 coats of sanding sealant on and rubbed it down with a Scotch pad. I'm now going to use some good old Wood Wax 22. Now, I would have used Hampshire Sheen on this, Martin Saban Smith's Hampshire Sheen, if I'd have won a blooming pot, but I didn't, because he changed the blooming rules at the last minute. Instead of being it the best comment, he took the names out of a hat, and shame really, because I knew I had the best comment. Just joking. So anyway, until I can get hold of a tin of Hampshire Sheen, I will be using the Wood Wax 22, which I've used ever since day one, and it always gives a lovely finish. It's very easy to use, and there you go. Quick coat of that on. Make sure you've covered the lot. You can go and have a quick cup of coffee if you want, and come back and buff it off with a nice clean paper towel. And there you go, that's the finished potpourri bowl. That doesn't look too bad. There's that crack, but it's very smooth. It is actually closed thanks to CA glue. You can see on the bottom I've just left that little bit of bark for a little bit of extra effect there, and all in all I quite like it. I hope you do. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm got to think about the next project now, so I'll see you all soon, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.